Good day, classmates. Today, we will be
The
discussing
accounts on the origin of language. So, what is the first language? How did it begin? Where did it begin and when did it begin? So these are the repeated questions asked by scholars. And so here I am to discuss the theories and the hypotheses about the origin of language. Let's go. So the first theory is the Baobab theory. This theory is based on the idea that humans imitate the sounds of animal skull. For example, is that a person may have imitated the sound of a dog or the dog's bark to let another person know that a dog is nearby. So the second theory is the Poo-Poo theory. This theory arose with the idea that people create an instinctive sounds, like for example, ouch, oh, hey, and wow. So the third theory is the Ding Dong theory. This is based on the notion that humans react to the world and make sound symbolism. For example, the word boom when we hear trees falling. Or the word meow, we say meow when we hear a cat that is meowing. So we tend to imitate sounds to describe an event or an object. So that is the Ding Dong theory. Next is we have the Yoheho theory. This is based on the proof that humans create rhythmical grants which later develop into chants to address physical environmental needs. Example is when you lift anything heavy, you might let out a groan or any other sounds. And so this theory proves that language came from the sounds we made while doing our hard work. The last theory is the Lala theory. So, the romantic side of human life is the sole factor that is responsible for the creation of language. So, examples are the sounds of inspired playfulness, poetic, sensibility, love, and songs. Let me also tell you about the genetic mutation of Chomsky. So, Noam Chomsky postulates in his theory that language is created by genetic mutation from our human ancestors. So this human ancestor have the ability to speak and understand language, and he passed this onto his offspring. And this offspring will pass this into the next generation. So that is how the language was created according to the genetic mutation by Noam Chomsky.
here we have the vocal grooming of Dunbar. From grooming to gossip, here is Reuben Dunbar's theory. According to Reuben Dunbar in his book, Grooming, Gossip, and Evolution of Language, gossip allow people to service their connections and preserve their alliances on the basis of the principle, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Just as manual grooming does for other primates. According to Dunbar, the task of manually grooming one's friends and acquaintances became so time-consuming as to be unaffordable as humans began to live in larger social groups. To solve this issue, you must develop vocal grooming, which is a cheap and ultra-efficient form of grooming, one that just needs to use inexpensive speech sounds to groom allies in order to maintain their happiness, allowing both hands-free to perform other tasks. Vocal grooming then evolved into vocal language, initially in the form of gossip. Dunbar's hypothesis appears to be supported by the fact that language structure exhibits adaptations to the function of narration in general. Critics of this theory point out that the very effectiveness of vocal grooming, the low cost of words, would have undermined its ability to convey commitment of the kind conveyed by time-consuming and expensive manual grooming. Another criticism is that the theory offers no explanation for the crucial shift from vocal grooming, the creation of pleasant but meaningless sounds, to the cognitive complexities of syntactical speech. Our next theory or hypothesis is putting the baby down hypothesis by Dean Fox. The basic idea behind Fox putting the baby down theory is that evolving human mother, unlike their counterparts in other primates, were unable to move around and forage with their infants clinging onto their backs. This meant that vocal interactions between early hominid mothers and infants started a sequence of events that eventually led to the earliest words spoken by the human ancestors. Infants in the human scenario have no way to hold on when their fur was lost. Mothers frequently had to put their babies to sleep as a result. These infants needed to be convinced that they were not being abandoned as a result. Mothers responded by creating motheries, an infant-directed communication system that includes body language, facial expressions, touching, patting, and caressing, as well as tickling, laughing, and emotional contact calls. The claim is that it was via the interaction that language emerged. Our last theory for the origin of language is about William Dwight Whitney's origin of language. So Whitney thinks that the origin of language is human being cries of their feelings as humans express their feelings or being understood by others. The use of language began. Also, Whitney believed that in order for humans to produce their natural cries and tones, human beings must use onomatopoetic utterances. Examples of onomatopoetic utterances are animal noises, collision, explosive sounds, movement of air, water, and objects, and also human sounds. One theory argues that the origin of all languages was the same, but they slowly evolved and made thoroughly different entities just like animals did. However, considering the same root for all languages requires more evidences. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. God bless all.